Hello and welcome to the Eurogamer Newscast. This week we're talking about Nintendo's big new hardware announcement. It's switched to... No, it's an alarm clock. Who'd have thought that? Joining me to talk about it this week, as ever, it's Eurogamer's news team. We've got Ed Nightingale.
Hello.
Victoria Kennedy.
Hello.
And I'm Tom Phillips. I love that in a world where people are grifting on YouTube and social media saying that Switch 2 is going to be announced this week, this month, has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What we actually get instead is something completely left field. It's not a £700 console. It's not the next generation of hardware. In fact, it's just something that's a little bit fun and different. It is, to give it its full name, Nintendo... What is it? Nintendo...
Nintendo
Sound Clock, Alarmo.
Colon is written out as colon, isn't it?
I like that because it looks like there's going to be like Nintendo Sound Clock, Alarmo Strikes Back. Return of the Alarmo.
Revenge of Alarmo.
Revenge of Alarmo, can you imagine? That's
Electric
when Bowser
alarm
gets
clock
really
boogaloo.
angry. Excuse me?
Electric Alarm Clock Boogaloo.
Oh. So who's buying one?
No.
Why not?
I hate everything about this.
Oh dear.
Absolutely hate
Ed,
it.
why?
Because I am not a morning person, which you can probably attest to.
It's
do not
currently
like
morning right now, by the way.
Just. And I'm still not a morning person, clearly. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm grumpy and I'm tired, and what I don't want is annoying Mario music and coin noises to make me get out of bed. What I want is coffee.
But surely, like, the upbeat wahoo from Mario, who's so thrilled that you have gained some consciousness, is enough
No.
to spur you and to think, yes, Mario, I've got this.
If anything, I will roll over and go back to sleep to stop the noises from happening. That's
But
it's
it
going to have
knows-
the complete opposite effect for me.
But you have to really, so you'll have to be, like, frigid. Because it'll...
I'll be asleep still. I will sleep through it. I'm a very deep sleeper, and this is not going to wake me up.
The thing is, though, it knows where you are, and it knows if you're still in the bed, so you can't just like hide under the bedclothes. It has to detect that you've got up. So when the alarm goes off, say 7:30, it's then suddenly in scanning mode, and it scans the room. And if it sees you sort of waving your arms around and throwing things at the alarm clock to try and turn it off, it knows that you're not out of bed. It needs to detect body movement, standing up, and then ta-da, you get the Mario fanfare, and then it shuts up.
Can it detect the movement of me picking it up and throwing it at a wall and smashing? Can it detect that and wake me up? Because then I'll go back to sleep.
Well, you
But
might
at least
wanna
you're out
find
of bed.
Yeah, it got you up. It did its job. That's right. Take that, Nightingale.
We all need to get out of bed. Like we all need coffee in the morning, but you have to get out of bed to get your coffee. So
I like the idea that Ed just has like a barista machine on his bedside table.
I would love that.
Just like
I would
his
love
alarm
that.
clock is like hitting the go button on the coffee machine.
that'd be great.
That would be great.
The fact that Nintendo has the audacity to charge £90 for this, when I could
Okay.
just make a playlist on my phone that will wake me up with Animal Crossing music if I really
Yeah,
want.
but you wouldn't get like your sleep stats and things with the playful little records
There's an app
of...
for that.
Literally, that's built into your phone. Yeah, I'm with Ed on that one.
Okay, you could also go and get... Is it not like I can't remember what it's called, like fierce mode or something, where it'll get louder and more intense and like Bowser will growl at you.
Yeah, that's a cool feature.
I don't want that. I don't want Mario watching me sleep. Like some weird, creepy little man.
I do find the motion sensor technology quite creepy, and I saw a picture, a tweet online today, and it had it almost like, you know, one of the Zelda Guardian Stalker creatures that would like had little legs and it's got its beam on you, and it did feel actually kind of, kind of creepy.
Music.
Can you imagine if that music starts playing? I'd wake up in like a sweat.
Yeah.
So stressed, running away, eating a roast dinner, trying to like do up my health.
So it can't. So just to be clear, it doesn't have a camera in. It isn't looking at you, and it's only after
Feels
the
like it
alarm
is.
goes off that it then is saying, have I detected movement enough to make it clear that that person is no longer lying relatively still in bed? Okay, I've detected that movement. I'll stop sounding the alarm. Yeah, I mean, it would be a bold move for Nintendo to, Nintendo, a company who makes products for for young people and the young at heart, but it's supposed to be family friendly. For them to be putting cameras into kids' bedrooms and it not be completely safe.
Oh
Oh,
gosh,
for
yeah.
sure.
I would, if it had a camera, I would absolutely abort any
Yeah, yeah.
purchases. But you have raised the point there as well that Nintendo does tend to gear their stuff towards children and those young at heart, and they have had to make a point of saying that if there are multiple people in the bed, the alarm may not function as intended, which I think is really funny.
I mean, yeah, it's clearly intended for children, this
Yeah.
product, to be clear, who will probably be sleeping alone in a single bed and will need help getting to go to school, as opposed to us adults that maybe have partners and maybe share a bed and maybe don't want to just wake up first thing in the morning.
Is it bad that when I saw this announced, that did not cross my mind at all, and I just thought
You are a pure and innocent
You
soul.
are
this might be quite fun. This might be
Tom,
quite fun.
you're
I don't
so
know what my
sweet.
wife is going to say about it, but it might be quite fun.
I mean, I was thinking, da-dang, 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 da-dang.
I was just thinking about having I was thinking quite rude things and about having some kind of climax with Link's chest opening tune.
I don't think that would be my first choice. Yeah.
Chest opening is a very interesting phrase. So again, like I don't really want to get into this, to be quite honest. I was going to say, because this, it all happens 7:30 in the morning, and I don't know if this is going to be something that a lot of people have to factor in, when their alarm is going off. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't know what to say here, to be quite honest.
I mean, in my house, if I was to buy the alarm for myself and set it for
Okay,
the time
just
that
be
I wake
careful
up,
what you're saying here, Victoria, because
I'm
this
going.
is going out on the internet.
I am being very careful. But if I was to buy it in my house and the alarm was for me because I'm the Nintendo nerd in this house, my husband tends to wake up before me and gets up and gets going because he has a very busy life. So the alarm would be set for my time, and so the sort of bed sharing issue would not be an issue for me because my husband would not be there by the time the alarm goes off for me. If it was the other way around, though, there would be issues because he gets up and I would still be in the bed, probably tossing and turning.
I'm with
So
you. I think, yeah, Nintendo has said or suggested that this is a product that requires, I think the functionality is that when the alarm is sounding, it needs the room cleared for the alarm to then stop sounding. So if there is a second person or a pet or anything making movement in the room after that, then it might disrupt it might think that there's still someone there. So you could be off downstairs making coffee and the alarm is still like, nope, I detect movement. Someone's still not got out of bed. But then I would also say, if you're sharing a room with someone and this alarm clock is in there, then you're going to annoy them anyway because it's an alarm clock making Mario noises. So it's probably a conversation to have with your partner.
I mean, they have said that there is a button mode. So if you do share a room or for whatever reason don't like the idea of having this motion censored on off, you can switch to a more traditional form of cancelling your alarm.
And then just buy like a £5 digital alarm clock and don't spend 90 just because it's red.
And it's got Mario's face.
I am sympathetic to the price point thing. It is far too expensive. Far too expensive. It should be £45, not £90.
I agree, it's far too expensive, and there's no way I'm buying one for myself or my children. But at the same time, there was an Ask the Developer question thing on the Nintendo page, and it does sound like there's some pretty cool tech in there. And I don't know how much that would inflate the cost because I don't understand that side of business.
There's some very cool tech, and there's a nice conversation about the software and hardware teams coming together to create a new device. And of all the things that they could have made, they settled on an alarm clock. Was that really the best use of this technology?
What would you have made it?
Anything.
A coffee machine.
A coffee machine. Yeah, please. If you could sense my movement and make me a coffee, that would be great.
Let's a brew.
Perfect. Done.
What about you, Tom? What would you want to see Nintendo investing their knowledge and power into?
Well, so when this was, we knew that a weird device was going to be announced soon because the documents relating to it got submitted to the US Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, relatively recently, and in that was mention of a mysterious sensor. I've got the name of it here, the 24 gigahertz wave sensor, which is something that detects movement in a room, even down to like people breathing, lying down in bed, which is presumably how accurate this alarm clock could be. That like even if you're relatively still in bed, it can still detect like breathing movement. And I was thinking, well, obviously it's not going to be for like someone lying in bed. It's going to be some, and yet here we are. Some crazy party game where you have to like clear the room or like stand really still, and you know the first mini game in Squid Game where the
red light green
red
light green light, and it detects movement and then it shoots you in the head. A Nintendo version of that.
Well, they mentioned that in the Ask the Developer as something that they were considering. It's not the exact same game, and it has a Japanese name that I won't attempt to pronounce. But there is a Japanese traditional game that's very similar to Red Light Green Light that they were testing this with and were considering.
That I thought that they were going to do that, and I think that it still could be a good use of this technology. And I think if you're selling it as that kind of thing, pack in a game as well, still not £90, but if you're put it at like the Ring Fit price point, which I think was about 60-70, with a game as well.
Maybe this is like the clock is a bit of a litmus test to make sure this technology does actually function the way it's intended, and then when the Switch 2 comes out, they'll implement the same technology but in a game, like you just said.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a bit late for them to decide to add something to the hardware, surely.
No, but like maybe it's like a game idea that they can maybe work on and release like X years down the line with Switch 2's compatibility.
Right, so this is just
Switch
like
2
a
is the alarm clock
prototype.
You don't need to spend £90 on it. You can just have your Switch 2 next to you.
It's going to transform in the night. You lucky early adopters. It's like when people thought that Astrobot was teasing like the PS5 Pro or whatever before it came out. Everyone's like, I wonder if like you'll build the PS5 Pro, and that's the announcement.
That would be great.
That would have been pretty fun.
Also, why is Nintendo obsessed with sleep? Like, we've got Pokemon Sleep, which was annoying as hell.
I mean, let me tell you, as a mother, I am very pro anything that will encourage my children to sleep, especially when they were younger.
And this is where we differ.
I mean, my kids are now thankfully very good sleepers, but possibly when they were young, if I could encourage them to go to sleep with a fun app and be like, why don't we see what Snorlax thinks to your sleeping? Go to sleep fast, Snorlax. Or, Mario will congratulate you when you wake up in the morning. As a mother, I can see the appeal in that.
As an adult.
As a mother who does have kids, you're not buying one of these now.
No, but I mean, my kids are good sleepers. They're 9 and 11 now and pretty much doing their own thing. But when I was a younger mother with younger children, I remember investing in like You and the Dream Sheep, which was something that I could put in my kid's cot and it would play soothing sounds if he pushed its little leg. There were all these things I did buy because I wanted to make sure that I've created a good sleep environment or something for my child.
Do you think it's going to sell?
Probably.
Yeah, I think it will. Tom, it has Pikmin 4 noises.
Yeah. Of all the soundscapes, the only one that I think I could actually use and find quite relaxing is the Pikmin one. Yeah, that would be quite fun. It's sort of gentle. I mean, again, I'm describing features that I can just get on my iPhone for free, but it can wake you up with sort of garden noises and little Pikmin chirps. And the only exciting thing about it really is if I was to sort of wave my hands in the air, I'd get more Pikmin noises. Is that worth £90? I'm not sure.
No.
But then again, you are a grown adult man, but a young child maybe would be more inclined to be. I did think the inclusion actually of the Ring Fit music or theme a little bit of an odd one, because I'm not sure how many
That's the
children
worst.
would possibly think that's what I want to wake up to. All the other games
no
had.
one should want to wake up to that annoying ring shouting at you. Like, no one wants that. I think it's because it's the software and hardware teams together. I think they worked on Ring Fit previously, so it's probably just a nod to that.
Maybe, yeah.
It may also be that they're aiming this hardware at that kind of audience because, is there a Metroid theme? I don't think so. Like,
No.
hardcore Nintendo fans, hardcore Nintendo fans will probably just buy this because it's got Nintendo on it. And I am one of those people, and I am, it's crossed my mind whether I want to own one of these things, but I make terrible purchasing decisions. I spent a lot of money on Fortnite Lego last week. Will I also buy one of these? Not yet.
Did you get the Pokemon? Was there not like the little Pokemon sleep orb, Pokeball?
I did not get that.
You didn't get that. Okay.
No. I did ask Pokemon if they would like to send me one so that I could review it for the website, and I did not get one.
Oh,
So
sorry for you.
would I have bought it myself? No. Oh, but then we get into a whole thing with Pokemon Go where you use those things to basically shortcut the game, and I don't necessarily agree with that.
It does the alarm clock, actually. Does Alarmo have any... Because they've said that it's, available at first for Nintendo Switch Online members. Is there any benefit for, like, in-game purchases or bonuses if you have the alarm clock as well that they've mentioned?
Only that if you link your... So when you connect the device to the internet, it will download a couple more themes. Animal Crossing is one, and the other is...
Is it Mario Kart?
Mario Kart.
Yes.
8 Deluxe.
And some people have taken that as, you need Nintendo Switch Online to get this stuff. And it's like, well, at the moment, you only can get it from having Nintendo Switch Online. So it's more just they will provide more free stuff down the line. I would be surprised if they lock any content behind having an Alarmo. In the future. I don't think they're going to treat it like an amiibo figurine. That would be a bit crazy. I also don't know how it would work.
Can you imagine waking up to the sound of the blue shell chasing you?
Absolutely not. I mean, I will say, like, I applaud Nintendo for the timing when everyone wants Switch 2 news and expects hardware, and this is what they come out with. And it's sort of, in some ways, is the most Nintendo thing they could do. Like, we've got new hardware. Here's some cardboard Lego weird things to add to your Switch controller. Or we want new hardware, and here are some little figurines to collect, which admittedly are quite cool. Like, they love to do weird little hardware things like this. And it is very amusing, as much as I don't want it. It's amusing to watch people up in arms yesterday on social media.
Did you see the people who... there was a tweet and it was talking about things that Nintendo has announced, but not the Switch 2. And it was like an alarm clock, a playtest, and piranha tongs or something. Like, all these little, like, bits.
So Labo and Amiibo were kind of Wii U era things when it was very clear that Wii U wasn't going to hit the financial success of the Wii. And it's interesting that as the Switch sales start to decline, we're getting a similar thing sort of tide us through Christmas. And I wonder if the price is... Nintendo wants to make a profit on this stuff. And it fills a convenient hole where it doesn't have Switch 2 out in time for the holiday season this year. It is just the Switch, and sales are dropping off a bit, and they want to make some money. It reminds me a little bit of the Nintendo, the NES and SNES retro consoles they put out. It's like a relatively niche gadget that will appeal to Nintendo fans, and they make a profit off of it. Like those things were relatively expensive to buy, even though it was just a plastic shell with a chip in that had loads of ROMs that they downloaded off the internet of some old games.
At
But they
least
wanted to make some
played
money.
games. They didn't shout at you first thing in the morning.
What if this is a way that Nintendo does some kind of Switch 2 announcement though, and so it says like there's a new update that you can download for a new game noise, and it's like it's Pokemon Zar, whatever it's called, Pokemon Zar, and then it's like coming to Switch 2.
Listen, if I set an alarm and out of nowhere it randomly went, Switch 2 pre-orders live now, I would jump out of bed and I would run to my computer. That would wake me up. But I'm 99% sure they won't do that.
I'm gonna
That
just
would be
record a
wild.
soundbite of that and send it to you so you can set it as your alarm.
Imagine if they started adding adverts into it, or just making it say weird things.
Oh no. Oh gosh,
Do
I'm
you-
now picturing it like the last season of Parks and Rec, you know, where that Grizzle Foundation or something I don't know if you guys have watched Parks and Rec.
I don't know what you're talking about, no.
Well, the final season is like a corporation that comes to the city or to the town, and they basically start invading everyone's privacy, and all their technological devices are geared up specifically to what people's interests are, because they're basically invading privacy. Don't want that to happen with Nintendo and the clock.
No. Or if they made it like a Google device, you could be like, hey, Nintendo, tell me about this. And then like Mario would speak to you.
It's
Yes, but
raining.
people would very quickly ask it bad
right.
things, and then Mario would start telling you about bad things.
I cannot talk, that little boy.
It reminds me of when they patched the Lego Mario figures ahead of the Luigi announcement, before anyone knew that the Luigi figure was coming out, to make Mario cry out for his brother.
I
And
remember.
toys just started, like the Mario toy would just start saying, Luigi! And everyone's like, he's never said that before. What's going on? And he was like crying out for his brother. And then a few days later, they announced that Luigi was coming, and it was like basically an advert, so that kids would be like, "Mommy, my Mario's crying out for his brother," and the parent would be like, "Oh, I better buy you that brother then, kid."
We must unite them once more.
And maybe the alarm clock's going to do that. And we're going to hear about, maybe not Switch 2, but the Nintendo TV remote. It's like, where's my Nintendo TV remote? And you're like, what Nintendo TV remote? And then the next day you log on to Eurogamer.net and you're like, Nintendo's announced the TV remote. Great.
Yeah. And
Another thing I don't need for
that's it.
£90.
But for only £90, you can ask Mario in your TV remote to turn on the Switch
oh,
instead of just pressing a button.
what a
It's
time
free
to be
ideas here,
alive.
Nintendo.
So we're all agreed we're not buying one then.
Yes, agreed.
I would like
I'm
to try it.
On the fence.
It's not, to me, worth £90.
Yeah. I mean, never say never, but I'm currently would not buy one. Let's see if my son suddenly sees one in the catalogue somewhere and it's like, oh, mummy. Oh, well, I assume it'll be on the Switch Online downstairs now, won't it? So he probably will see an advert for it.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe. Well, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Happy Christmas. Get saving.
Thank you, I will.
I remember trying Pokemon Sleep for a couple of days, and it did not last long. And I fear that it would be the same with this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money to test it out.
Yes. Yes.
But I do appreciate having an annoying alarm to get out of bed. I also have an annoying alarm to get out of bed.
I have a really inspiring one. I have the Uncharted dates theme remixed, and it's really good. So every morning I wake up feeling like a treasure hunter.
You wake up every morning to a remixed version of the Uncharted theme.
Yep.
Wow,
It's really inspiring.
that does not surprise me. Ed, what's your alarm tone?
I always used to wake up to the radio, and this is a really boring story, but I have a Sonos that won't connect properly to the app, which is a
Same.
Sonos problem. Please fix that, Sonos. And so I've ended up just having an annoying beeping on my phone, which I absolutely despise. So I do actually need a new alarm sound, but what I don't want is Nintendo sounds, because that will irritate me.
Don't worry, very soon I'm going to send you over Ed, Switch 2 pre-orders live now, and you can have that as your alarm.
It won't work more than once.
Or I'll send you the Uncharted theme.
I'll try it.
I must have told you that for years I woke up to like a sound clip that someone had put together. It was when the Switch was announced, and someone on YouTube was doing a video about it, and it was ahead of the Switch actually being announced, but after Eurogamer had done their report on the Switch and what it would be, and this guy on YouTube was just like, "Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. That's not what it's going to be." And then someone did a remix of that. Someone on the team whose name I won't say, and shared it as like a funny thing when the Switch was announced, and it was indeed what Eurogamer had reported. And for a long time, I had that as my ringtone because it was really annoying, and it would get me out of bed to turn it off.
I bet your wife loved that.
I had it downloaded to my phone. Yes. I had it downloaded to my phone, and I remember thinking one day, I need a really annoying alarm tone to get me out of bed. And I was like, oh, I have this random sound file. I'll do that. And then it was my alarm, I think basically until COVID. And then I changed the time that I wake up in the morning because now I work from home. And I don't have that anymore.
No.
But sometimes if I do need to wake up slightly earlier, I do go back because, you get like a list of alarm times on your phone. And I go back to my old wake up one. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, bloody noise again. But it gets me out of bed.
Does get you out of bed. There you go.
Yeah.
And cheaper than Alarmo.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think we're all decided we're probably not going to be buying one unless there's some kind of crazy Switch 2 functionality next year.
We'll see.
Well, what will Nintendo announce next? Hopefully Switch 2.
Yeah.
I'm
next
pretty
time.
excited about the Mario coffee machine idea that we had. I would like it to announce that next.
That would be great.
And then Switch 2.
Super Mario Coffee Maker.
Yes. See, it's got a name and everything.
Done.
If you're listening, Nintendo, please make it happen.
Thank you.
And until then, Ed, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me at ed_nights.
Victoria.
I am at Little Chop Shop Gal.
And I'm at Tom Phillips EG. Thanks for listening, watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye for now.
See you then.
Bye.